I cannot think of a better way to start today's broadcast than by trying out a potential pissy ass queen mode look. And um, and I think this is my favorite one because I am shaped like a potato. I like to go shopping, and I think the color pink is rather becoming on me. And if I decide to get ugly, I can wave around my bag with boundless enthusiasm. But I also appreciate that's not why we're here today. We are here today for coffee and headlines. So I will get rid of this outfit and get the show on the run. Let's do it. Wait. I want to try this again because I just realized that my music was not sounding properly. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody got to hear what I had to say. So, again, this is my pissy ass queen potential look that I may use on Sunday to my advantage. If you don't know what we're talking about, oh dear, just stick around and we'll provide juicy details in the second half of the broadcast. Now, let's go. And of course, we start with our usual hellos, but I must say, a comment has caught my attention. Oh, why is my mouth delayed? Interesting. Let me see if I can fix that because I don't like it when my mouth is not going along with my mouth. Now it seems to be fine. Anyhow, good morning, coffee and good morning to coffee and headlines. I'm choking because a comment has caught my attention even before anything else happens. Because Luisa says first week in Mexico, and it's just me. Is it just me, or does the food taste more natural? Not so artificial. My question to you would be, is that before or after you smoke your first fatty of the day? I'm just kidding. I hope you're enjoying our food now that you're back in Mexico. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook where we act silly, act snarky, act like a pissy ass queen, apparently. Sometimes we're kind, sometimes we're not so kind, and sometimes it takes over our personalities, which is why this Sunday we will have our much heralded workshop on how to embrace and harness the power of your inner pissy ass queen mode, available on Sunday afternoon, broadcast time to be defined. but between now and then, we have headlines to share. Headlines from Mexico, headlines from our city, from our state, from our country. Comments such as this one: Paco, was that a pissy ass Birkin? Dave, I have no idea what a Birkin is, particularly with a capital B. So if you care to elaborate and bring me out of the dark, I would much appreciate it. As always, we welcome new friends, people that are joining us live for the first time. If you'd like a nice little welcome, please feel free to let us know that you are new by writing the word new in your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a nice little welcome. If you have something truly important that Luisa is saying, I have never had a fatty, but I'm thinking about it. Okay, Luisa, if you go there, just go there with friends and go there in a place where you are surrounded by people you can trust, and hopefully a place where you're in private, not in public. That way, if you get a little crazy, not that one gets crazy, but if you happen to get a little crazy, you will have no eyewitnesses. Anyhow, okay, I am not going to continue looking at your comments because I get so distracted. I'm going to wait until the second half of the broadcast. But now, as always, if you have something really important that you wish to say, and you wish a comment back on, add a capital letter Q, as some of you have. And I think with that, we complete our morning laundry list of announcements. Let us get started with the news, which include new vehicular loss, a power outage this morning that happened to all of us, not just you. It's not something you said. It's not what you had for dinner. A couple of interesting news from a young Mexican man that conquered a bunch of records climbing mountains, and a couple of other things that hopefully you will find interesting. Let's go. Okay, so for starters, I wanted to let you know that a new mobility and security law was approved by Congress and goes into effect today throughout the country. The new legislation hopes to bring a new layer of safety and diminish accidents, whether you are driving a vehicle, riding a bicycle or a motorcycle, or whether you are simply walking around. What changes can we expect? Well, for starters, there is going to be an increase in breathalyzer tests coordinated by all three levels of government. We can expect stricter sanctions for those driving under the influence and more specific top speeds that you can drive without getting a fine while you are driving, whether you are driving in urban areas or on the highway. That said, and for better or worse, it's worth remembering that it is up to each municipality to implement these laws. Regardless, it is worth keeping in mind that in Mexico, an average of 44 people lose their lives every day due to vehicle-related accidents, and many, many more suffer temporary or permanent damage to their bodies as a result of such tragedies. Moving right along, the deal to collect 3% lodging tax from Airbnb here in the state of Jalisco is working out quite successfully for our state, to the tune of 14 million pesos that were collected between the months of February and March alone. Governor Alfaro chimed in from his Facebook account, indicating that the revenue will be used to strengthen our tourism promotion and infrastructure so our visitors can better enjoy each of the vacation destinations within our state. This sounds like a good bit of news. And in a related note, we learned from Luis Roberto Arechederra, who is the Secretary of Economic Development for the state, that Puerto Vallarta has recovered the jobs lost during the pandemic. And of course, we know this to mean that the jobs are there, but not the employees. They were talking about thousands of vacancies just a few weeks ago in our city's hotel and restaurant sector. But what do I know? What this says is that the jobs are back. They're there to be had, and that Puerto Vallarta generates, check this out, over 20,000 million pesos in gross domestic revenue each year for the state of Jalisco. You'd think that would entitle us to bridges that need to be finished and roads that need to be bettered, but what do I know? I don't make those decisions. But moving right along, a revenue abundant city does not mean that the lights cannot go out from time to time. And if you were thinking that this early morning's power outage happened only to you or in your neighborhood, you would be wrong. It so happened that between 4:30 in the morning and 5:05, the entire city experienced a power outage. No explanation has been offered yet, but we are hoping for one within the next few hours from the Federal Electricity Commission, or CFE. We talked briefly about vehicle verification yesterday, and the state of Jalisco was quick to clarify that the verification implemented in our state is independent from the one mentioned at a federal level by President Lopez Obrador. Of course, we need not to worry about this, as the local verification center remains closed until they figure out their permits to operate within the municipality. And I find this fascinating, and I'd love to hear your opinion. Our city is running out of room in the local cemeteries, but the Commission of Municipal Public Works has approved the purchase of a plot of land located along the Ixtapa Highway for 105 million pesos, where a new cemetery will be built. And I'm just curious about where you stand on this. For me, it's difficult to appreciate how people continue to hold on to the idea of the remains, of their remains, being put in the ground, occupying space within the land. But I also appreciate that this is what has been done for such a long time. Would you like to be buried somewhere? Feel free to share your thoughts on this matter. I personally don't care either way, but I don't know that I would want to be, using a piece of land for my remains. But that's just me. Anyhow, let us turn over to the weather forecast just to see what's going on out there. What a low energy sun, total lightweight, says snarky weatherman. Well, if he was actually talking about Puerto Vallarta, I see that it's getting increasingly cloudy out there. Tonight, today, right now, I need more coffee. 25 degrees right now, feels like 28. Humidity is high at 67%. And our Fahrenheit temperature, for those of you that still follow the F number, is 78 degrees. Our weather forecast for today says partly cloudy through the day with a high of 30 and a low of 20. Thursday, tomorrow, partly cloudy through the day with a high of 31 and a low of 20. And Friday, we can expect a clear day with a high of 30 and a low of 20. Not much change in the weather forecast for the next few days, although, again, every time I look out the window, particularly in the afternoon, I see that it is starting to look increasingly cloudy, like it could start raining. And now that the tropical storm season has begun, the Municipal Council for Civil Protection is now in permanent standby, or permanent session, sesión permanente, as they call it. As in years past, the council works with authorities at the three levels of government to monitor potential contingencies caused by summer weather, more specifically by tropical storms and by rain. And of course, preventive work continues throughout the city with the cleaning of water canals and local rivers. And now, of course, it's just a race against time, although I don't think we can expect any serious rainfall just yet. I learned this morning that CEPAL has announced the temporary closing of the southbound lane along Francisco Villa Avenue right around the Los Mangos Library due to improvement work on their water lines. So the closing apparently began this morning and no finishing date has been provided. So if you are thinking of a Costco or La Comer run by way of the Libramiento and then turning right onto Francisco Villa, you may want to get there by way of a different route. Now, this sounds exciting. 19-year-old Mexican man has broken records by climbing two of the highest mountains of the world in one expedition, one of them being Mount Everest, and breaking several world records, including being the youngest individual to accomplish the feat and also the fastest. His name is Juan Diego Martinez Alvarez, and guess what? He is from Jalisco. So Governor Alfaro was quick to praise and comment on this and show a little bit of Jalisco pride, and how could we blame him? Last but not least, I'm excited that Viva Aerobus is resuming their daily flight schedule to the city of Toluca starting in September. Toluca is the capital city for the state of Mexico, and not only does it have its own attractions, it is also an increasingly convenient way to reach Mexico City if you want to go there. But if you wanted to just go to the city of Toluca, I understand they have a beautiful glass enclosed, ay Dios mío, ¿cómo se dice? Greenhouse. And of course, there's great chorizo in Toluca to be enjoyed, and I'm sure there are many, many other things to explore in the city of Jalisco. And how nice to know that one can fly there directly from the city of Puerto Vallarta. And now let us take a quick look at your comments just to see what everybody is up to. What a start, says Albert. Well, I forgot to change the adjustment that my computer goes on a fritz with the sound if I don't click a certain button before the broadcast. And I'm glad that all is well. More good mornings, more good mornings. Betsy Ann says, love your PAQ. And of course, Betsy Ann, I hope you are Betsy Ann, who sent me this beautiful card. And if you are, thank you very much. I received your membership by way of Michael Buford. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for the card. It's really beautiful. And it is sexy too. So I love getting it. I love getting cards. We don't do that anymore. You know, it's funny because there's not a lot of card stores, but a handwritten note is always such a sweet gesture. Thank you very, very much. Let's see what else. Da-dee-da-da-da-da. Do. Lots of comments. La-da-dee-da-da. Let's see what else. We read that one. Brian says, I need a pissy ass queen mode t-shirt. Well, I think we should all have one. I have one that it gets close enough to that, and I think that's what I'm going to be wearing on Sunday. How fun. Debbie asks, when is the gay parade? I just love it. Debbie, I have no idea. We listed the bookmarks of the Gay Pride organization and the other gay group just a few days ago, if you don't mind checking. I believe this was on Friday's show, this past Friday when I was out in Guadalajara. We pre-recorded a show, and it is in that show where we listed all the bookmarks and the websites where you can find all kinds of information for the celebrations. Birking is a Hermes handbag. All the PAQs have them. Well, sorry to break your heart, David. I don't have one of those. Ni modo. Let's see. Da-dee-da-dee-da-da. I read this the other day. The Pope mentioned he might drink tequila for his ailing knee. Maybe he needs a fatty. Wouldn't that be a funny sight? I love it. Let's see what else. I can totally relate to this, Suzanne. They need more regulations for motorcycles. They scare me when they fly by me on the wrong side of the road. I've been there, and it is so unfortunate. And let's just hope that our municipality partners on the abiding by these new vehicular laws that are coming into effect today. We can only hope. I see comments about cremation. I see comments up. And of course, Raymond says cemeteries are very popular. People are dying to get in. Thank you, Raymond. I was waiting for something coming from you. I love it. Lots of people are into getting cremated. I love it. That would be my choice. Let's see what else. Marie comments on this morning. Oh, the tranquility in the terrace at 4:45 a.m. Total darkness, total silence except for the waking birds. Actually disappointed when the power returned. I was asleep, but I heard a beep, and that's what made me realize that the fan had just gone on, but I missed it. Let's see. Ba-di-ba-bum. More comments about cremation. I love it. I love it. And I think we have gotten to the end of the broadcast. My goodness. Okay, so some maintenance comments that I wish to share as long as we're here. Because I was so busy getting ready oh, thank you, Isaac. Well, here's one of my favorite sources of information. Vallarta Pride Parade is on the 26th at 7 p.m. And of course, Isaac and Joey run the Gay Guide, and I mentioned their website this past Friday. Was it just this past? Yeah, it was just this past Friday. I mentioned their website as one of the most wonderful sources of information for all gay pride related events. I'm kind of getting giddy about the new fashion event that is going to take place at the Art Vallarta Museum, but I'm wondering whether I'll have something good to wear or not. Anyhow, some housekeeping, if I may. I got so busy producing content in anticipation of our trip to Guadalajara that I fell behind on my duties of uploading walkarounds and walking tours to YouTube, but I'm pretty much caught up with everything. I think the last thing that I uploaded on its own was our walk around of the joint co-working hotel. I think I still have a couple of things pending, but make sure and explore our YouTube channel where you will find separate playlists, not only for our daily broadcast, but also for interviews when we have them and the walking tours. And last but not least, yes, by request and because I don't like to keep promises in the air, we are going to have our online get-together this Sunday for how to harness the power of your pissy ass queen mode. Yes, we all have one. Yes, whether we choose to admit to it, we all do. I mean, all those people that get the Karen name up north, they're not being Karens. They're just being taken over by their pissy ass queen mode. And it happens to the best of us, and we need to learn how to coexist with it because it exists within our soul. So on Sunday afternoon, I think it'll be like 3 or 4. I'll put together an invitation this afternoon. We will have our own exploration of how to harness this power. We expect audience participation. So be ready to share your anecdotes. Be ready to share your questions on how to become a pissy ass queen without losing your dignity. It is challenging, but it can be done. Between now and then, you make it possible, but you already know that. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing part of your morning with me. Kelly says, I'm totally in a pissy ass queen mode right now. Take a good selfie, Kelly, and share it with us tomorrow and bring it back to the broadcast on Sunday. That way we can offer some empathy and some sisterhood and some advice on how to be productive. If we could generate electricity every time we go into PAQM mode, we might not even have a problem having the air conditioner on at all times. Anyhow, have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao.